Taylor Swift, straining at the leash. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Probably one of the most publicised romantic involvements at the current time is that between pop star Taylor Swift and NFL footballer Travis Kielce. Repeatedly, they appear in the tabloids and the news as a consequence of their ongoing romance. Just recently, we learned that Taylor Swift had been laying down the law to Travis Kielce, stipulating what he should do by way of behaviour. And I unpacked that for you recently with regard to why a greater narcissist would behave in that way and what the purpose of her issuing those diktats is. Nevertheless, it would appear that notwithstanding the rules that she has laid down with him, he's straining at the leash and testing the boundaries of control that she seeks to assert over him. Max Winters reports in the Daily Mail, Travis Kielce has been pictured downing champagne and partying in a Las Vegas club while surrounded by scantily clad women after leaving girlfriend Taylor Swift behind in Australia. The NFL star landed in Sydney on Thursday morning to meet up with his pop star girlfriend after his Super Bowl victory and watch her perform one of her Eras Tour shows. His appearance, of course, would provide her with the clear signal that he's under control because he's turned up to provide that support. The fact that he's seen and it's reported on assists her facade of being this pop star with a good relationship, that they're these media darlings. However, the couple's reunion was short and sweet, as Kielce boarded a flight just a couple of days later to return to the US for more celebrations in Las Vegas. Now, it could be that his return was with her blessing, that she said, "I've got to get on with my tour, good to see you later." But it's also the possibility that he did so because he, of course, needs to assert his own form of control and decided that he wanted to go off and do his own thing, that he's not being told what to do by his girlfriend, that he's not allowing her to stipulate these are the places that he should go to, etc. He, of course, would see it as being his own man. But it's necessary for his own narcissism to throw off the shackles of control that are being imposed by Taylor Swift. Thus, it's quite possible that he decides that he's going to Las Vegas, and there may well have been an argument as a consequence of this decision being made by him. Kielce landed in Sin City at 8:30 a.m. on Saturday, and wasted no time in returning to the dance floor with teammate and best friend Patrick Mahomes, who was already in Vegas for a friend's bachelor party. Thus, Taylor Swift has basically stipulated to him, "You're not going to strip clubs. I don't want you having photos taken with fans. I don't want you tripping to like Fantastic with scantily clad women around you." And, of course, such an order to him does not go down well. And therefore, in order to assert control, he withdraws by departing from being with Taylor Swift, and moreover, he immediately heads to Las Vegas as if to flip the bird at his girlfriend and say, "You can't tell me what to do." Video and pictures obtained by Daily Mail inside the Laveau Club in Las Vegas show Kielce with a giant magnum of champagne in hand. While stood on the packed dance floor, Kielce can be seen downing the champagne as he celebrates with his friends. Wearing a bright Hawaiian-style shirt, Kielce was said to be stood on top of his table as the group partied from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. They then departed from the Venetian Hotel in a party bus to continue their wild night elsewhere on the city's iconic strip. It comes after Swift laid down the law in their relationship and set Kielce some rules for him to follow. Travis is believed to be on board with most of the rules, but some reportedly have him rolling his eyes. One of Taylor's new rules prohibits him from going to strip clubs, which he is fine with, but another banning him from posing with female fans left him exasperated. He has no interest in playing a calculated media game if it's going to make him think twice about every move he makes. That's not his style. Kielce's behaviour has come under the microscope in recent weeks after Swifties identified a number of red flags in their idol's boyfriend, of course, whilst failing to notice all of the ones that their idol exhibits. He first shoved Chiefs coach Andy Reid and screamed in the 65-year-old's face in an explosive rant during the Super Bowl. Certainly no facade being exhibited there as an expression of heated, ignited fury. Kielce and a number of other Chiefs players were then criticised for going ahead with a scaled-down party on the same night as the deadly parade shooting in Kansas City. Lack of emotional empathy, sense of entitlement. Kielce was seen in a Kansas City sports bar alongside several teammates and their wags, including Mahomes' wife Brittany. He was part of a small group that also included Chiefs punter Tommy Townsend, centre Creed Humphrey, tight end Matt Bushman, and his wife Emily. Many of Andy Reid's team stayed away following the attack, which left one person dead and dozens injured in Kansas City. Kielce had already come under fire on the same day after posing for a smiling selfie with a police officer while holding a beer in the wake of the deadly shooting. Lack of emotional empathy. He was also extremely drunk at the parade, lack of accountability, and could barely speak and stand up on stage without the assistance of his teammates. Kielce and Swift both donated $100,000 to victims of the mass shooting. He made the donation through a GoFundMe page, which showed a pair of 50,000 donations from his charity, the 87 and Running Foundation, which makes it seem like he was using other people's money, not necessarily his own. It's also Kielce's third trip to Vegas in 2 weeks. He was also there earlier this week to play some golf and relax with friends before flying out to meet up with Swift in Australia. The 3-time Super Bowl winner watches pop superstar girlfriend perform her Eras tour Friday night and was fully embraced by his girlfriend's loyal group of fans at Accor Stadium. The Lovebirds also enjoyed a sweet date at Sydney Zoo during their time in the city, a move that was criticised by animal rights organisation PETA. In one clip from Friday's Era Tour show, Kielce could be seen trading friendship bracelets with the Swifties. In another, he waved at screaming fans as he walked by, naturally lapping up the fuel that they are providing. Swift decided to give 2 nods to her beau in the audience through her lyrics during the show. During the second verse of her song, Long Live, of her album Speak Now, Swift sang the line, "We are the kings and the queens. You traded your baseball cap for a crown when they gave us our trophies and we held them up for our town." At the mention of trophies, Swift held her guitar up and seemed to point out in the direction of Kielce in the audience. Later in the show, Swift had an encore of her altered Karma lyric, where she once again sang out, "Karma is the guy on the Chiefs instead of the guy on the screen." Assertion of control by utilising her own song lyrics, both over Travis Kielce and, of course, her audience. All part of the facade of being loved up. But Travis Kielce is straining at the leash as a consequence of his own need to assert control and demonstrate that he is not under the thumb. He heads off to Las Vegas and engages in the very type of behaviour that Taylor Swift has disapproved of and indeed has stipulated that he shouldn't engage in. What would her reaction be to all of this? Well, naturally, she would be displeased to see it. She wouldn't have a meltdown, but she would simply take note and then make a decision as to how she would deal with that at a later juncture. She would simply dismiss it at the time. Unlike, for instance, this one's wife, she wouldn't drop to the floor crying. Instead, she would simply note the behaviour and flag it for a discussion with him where she'll make it clear that his behaviour is unacceptable. And it may also be something that starts to hasten his own disengagement. After all, Taylor Swift is not known for usually being patient with her boyfriends. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.